Hey, extremely sleep deprived again for the 19th time. What's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to be doing a mini albums review video where I talk about multiple albums at once in one video. Now, I planned to do this video a whole month ago. I shit you not. I was supposed to make this video like in February, but I keep not being able to do it because I keep not being able to do it. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now. Actually, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be making YouTube videos at this point. But I'm still doing it. I'm new Weekend album. Hurry Up Tomorrow. Yeah, the Weeknd is a huge artist. I think everyone here, you, me, her, he, also knows the immense popularity of this Weekend person, and normally I would do a full-length album review video talking about his albums, but honestly, man, dude, bro, guy, I have zero excitement about the new Weekend album. I have zero excitement. I was not excited about his new album at all. I'm just not really interested in making a detailed review on the Weeknd's new album. So, yeah, but you know what? Let's talk about it. So this is the part of the Weeknd's synth pop trilogy. A few years back, he released After Hours, which I thought was pretty fun. Then a couple years later, he released Dawn FM, which I thought was okay. Some of the tracks are really catchy. It's just okay. And then, and then the Weeknd sort of went downhill with the freaking Idol, which is probably the major reason why I wasn't really interested in his new album. Is that like after his performance in The Idol, I cannot take him seriously anymore. His Idol basically ruined his career for me. But now we have Hurry Up Tomorrow, and it's like this huge album with 22 tracks, and there's even a movie attached to it, directed by Trey Edward Schultz, and it stars Jenna Ortega and a bunch of other people. So why the fuss? What the hell is going on? So first and foremost, this album is bloated. There are 22 tracks on this thing, and a lot of the tracks on this album sound like fillers. And yeah, there are some really good songs here, but there are also a lot of songs that are just so boring and generic, something that I've completely expected him to do. So, Wake Me Up featuring Justice, the opener track, really great. I love how cinematic it is as an opening. It's catchy, it's tense, it's wonderful. It sounds like Michael Jackson's Thriller, and I mean it as a compliment. I also really enjoyed Open Hearts and Niagara Falls. I think these two tracks are great. Timeless featuring Playboy Cardi, I think this track is just okay. But when I was listening to the track, I was like, oh, so that's where the memes came from. Because a while ago, I saw a meme on Instagram of a dog pissing while standing up while this song is playing. And lo and behold, it's Timeless featuring Playboy Cardi. I learned about it from a video of a dog pissing. There's tracks like Sao Paulo, which is another very whitewashed, boring attempt at reggaeton, and we also have other crazy features like Big Sleep featuring Giorgio Moroder. With a feature this big, I just wish the Weeknd would capitalize it more and make it much more interesting. Yeah. But yeah, Lana Del Rey's on this thing too. Not bad, I guess. 6 out of 10. Next album I'm going to be talking about is the new Oklou album, Choke Enough. Yeah. So French singer-songwriter Oklou, I don't know. Oklou. She has released her debut album, and it got onto the Rate Your Music charts out of curiosity. I listened to it, and man, is this album weird. But it was weird enough to catch my attention, and I keep going back to it. And slowly but surely, this became one of my favorite pop albums of the year so far. So the track Obvious is one of the lead singles, and you know what? I'm just gonna go look up the music video right now. It's this really well shot music video, this filmic video, and the funny thing is it's like a party video, everyone's hanging out, but the music itself is like this weird alien like pop tune with subdued chords and mumbly vocals. It's like one of those meme videos of like when the song doesn't match the video, and the comments is gold. When the party's so lit you low-key don't give a fuck. When your circle's small but low-key all weird. In the medieval club. So go back to the club. No music. No music. This is what it feels like when you've been up all night partying and the sun finally comes up. Cannot relate. Bumping this bumping this at the Renaissance Fair. Why does no one talk about the fact that yeah, I'm adding this to my slime hunting playlist. The bards will love this. The Animal Crossing trumpet right before the drop got me vibing so hard. Yeah, this is great. So, yeah, obvious. Even though it's really weird, I keep going back to it, and I think that's part of the magic of the song. Is that a good song isn't necessarily catchy. It's also weird enough for you to keep going back to it and find something charming about it. But there are also other highlights on the album, like Take Me by the Hand featuring Blade, which is incredibly catchy, and Blade's style and Oklou just melds together so well. Speaking of features, Harvest Guy featuring Underscores, fiery, passionate, love it. The track ICT is this weird, cutesy, shuffly pop song with a bit of reggae tone in it. I don't know why, but it kind of just works. And then Blade Bird is a surprisingly emotional climax, just very moving ending to the album. So yeah, overall, this is actually not bad. Feeling a light 8 out of 10. Third album I'm going to be talking about is the new Richard Dawson album, End of the Middle. Yeah. So Richard Dawson, ingenious singer-songwriter from the UK, is back with a new album. And I've covered quite a bit of his work lately. Of course, we have his trilogy, the Past, Present, Future trilogy, Peasant 2020, The Ruby Chord, Peasant. I re-listened to Peasant last night, and god damn, it's a masterpiece. So obviously Richard Dawson, even when he's releasing music that is not that interesting, it's still interesting to some degree. So End of the Middle here is a way more laid back, straightforward album, and probably his most accessible album to date. Bolt, the album opener, is very stripped back, really slow, really patience testing. But then we have Gondola, which is a very straightforward track with moving chords, steady guitars, lots of ups and downs. Just a fantastic track through and through. Bullies, lyrically, lots of interesting tracks on the album, lots of concepts here. Bullies is a track about being bullied as a primary school student, and that growing up and seeing your son become the bully. It's such an interesting track about generations and about social dynamics. The question is 8 minutes long and it still holds up. Polytunnel is a super skeletal track, didn't really blow me away or anything, but I do love the optimism on this track. Not is a much more experimental track with multiple phases, and lyrically it deals with a marriage, but usually marriages are happy, but this marriage is cringy, it's sad, it's suffocating. It's just a really interesting new angle to something so real. And then we have Removal's Van, which is a track about moving, obviously. It's about slice of life, it's about aging, it's about playing video games like Doom in your attic and then wandering around IKEA. It's heartwarming, it's also groovy. And then the album ending, More Than Real, is a surprisingly spacey ending to the album, but it ends on a really just emotional note where in the story Richard Dawson's dad is hospitalized and the song basically goes over his last moments sort of conversing with his family, just really moving stuff. So it's still very impressive even though I'm not particularly wowed by the music on this album. Feeling a 7 out of 10. Next album I'm going to talk about is the new Bad Bunny album, Debir Tirar Más Fotos. So Bad Bunny, Puerto Rican reggaeton artist, he's back with a new album. Undeniably, he is one of the most influential and popular reggaeton artists right now, and surprisingly, I've never covered his music on my channel. Because I just wasn't that interested in the music he's making. But anyways, new album coming out, pretty interesting title, pretty interesting album cover, and surprisingly, a lot of the tracks here are really solid. The album opener, Nueva Yol, is very hype, very aggressive, very energetic, just very burning with passion. Then we have other tracks that feature very interesting mixes between genres like baile inolvidable, which means unforgettable dance. The salsa at the end is just fantastic, especially right after these really epic, big, bold synths. One of my favorites on the album, Café con Ron, which is this track that shifts between reggaeton and traditional band music. And in the reggaeton parts, it's just so harsh and crisp. It's amazing. I also love to try EOO, where it's like this super harsh futuristic thing that just jumped out at me. I also love that lyrically he puts Puerto Rico on such a pedestal on this album. His love for his homeland. I love to see that. But aside from that, a lot of the album is still very bloated and generic. The track Velda, for example, is this very basic dance track and the vocals are very robotic. So yeah, lots of room for improvement, but some moments are truly not bad. Feeling a 6. The final album I'm going to be talking about is the new Lil Baby album, Wham! So, Lil Baby is a rapper whom I've been covering for quite some time on this channel now, and 90% of the time whenever I'm talking about Lil Baby, it's also about how boring he is. So I think at this point you can basically tell what I have to say about Wham! It's really boring. It's really boring, really bland, but surprisingly some moments are not bad. When I played this album, the first track, Listen Up, genuinely good. Maybe it's the first track syndrome where whenever I listen to an album, the first track always sounds like the best track there, but the track Listen Up is weirdly epic, and the dramatic strings are really nice, even though the lyrics still suck ass. Another track that actually surprised me is the track Stiff Gang. There's something kind of lush and lavishing about it, and I don't really... I do know why. It's because of the strings. But it just sounds really interesting. But aside from that, a lot of the album just sounds like the same song again and again and again. It's 2025. You're making albums like it's 2018. You're still making bloated trap rap albums like it's 2018. It's 2025. Please move on. So yeah, this album is sleepy. It's a sleepy album. It's a drowsy album. It makes me want to fall asleep, which is what I'm gonna do right now. 3 out of 10. So yeah, these are the albums I'm reviewing in this video. Comments below, let me know how you want more. Thanks for watching. Okay, more interesting albums I will be discussing in the future includes the new Lisa, the new Lady Gaga, Dark Side, Panda Bear, and Rebecca Black. See ya. Subscribe if you want more.